Hello and welcome to 3 Minute Game Pass. I'm Nathan, and today I'm going to tell you if this Game Pass game is worth your time and bandwidth. Today's game is Visage. Do you remember PT? Because these developers sure do. Enter the world's biggest house as you try to defeat a ghost who really likes turning off the lights at scary moments. It's better than that intro made it sound. Visage is a Xbox and PC cross-release that also features cross-save and cross-chivos. On the Xbox, it is Series SX optimized for a better frame rate, and I'm assuming higher resolution, and the playtime is about 5 to 7 hours. So what is Visage? Well, it's a first-person horror walking and exploration game with some light puzzle elements. It's very similar to PT, if you're familiar with that. The game is broken into short chapters that affect the house, and each have their own set of exploration goals. You'll use context clues in the environment to find keys to unlock new areas, and figure out what the heck is going on in this house, and how you can break free of its curse. Puzzles are generally pretty simple once you find them. For example, you might find a post-it note that says a key is in the office upstairs, and so then you have to find the specific office upstairs and where that particular key is exactly without, getting scared out of your mind. The issue is that you will lose sanity when in the dark, or if you're spooked by a scary ghost trying to get you, which ramps up the scary things that happen the higher your insanity level is, I guess. You can fix this by standing in the light, by turning on lights, by lighting candles along your way, or by taking a limited amount of pills. It's worth pointing out that as the game progresses, you'll have less and less light, meaning you're going to have to light candles on particular pathways and kind of set your own course throughout the house in order to get from place to place, kind of similar to the original Resident Evil games with the zombies. So generally, you're going to be doing a lot of exploration, learning the layout of the house, as well as optimally lit routes, all while trying to solve puzzles while avoid getting spooked to death. So what do I like about this game? Well, it is genuinely unnerving. I haven't really been scared by a game this much since I first played Resident Evil 7. It is a game that stressed me out so much that I had to take breaks. You'd think that just walking around a slightly unlit house wouldn't be that unnerving, but this game nails its atmosphere in that regard. And similarly, it has a great visual style and lighting with some crazy surreal images. I didn't put any in this preview because I really don't want to spoil them. But yeah, it gets kind of nuts, especially as it progresses. And lastly, there's a great experience here to be planning your routes, figuring out what paths to light and which to not, etc. It adds an element of gameplay that I didn't expect from this type of game. When it comes to the bad, I do feel like you can get stuck really easily in this game without knowing where to go next. I was stuck a lot, and that kind of frustrated me more than I cared to admit. Secondly, the game has a limited inventory, which is obnoxious, and the controls to move item around are kind of counterintuitive and frankly kind of suck. You have to sometimes drop stuff to find later, which wasn't huge on that. And lastly, if you're not really into these kinds of atmospheric horror games, you're more into the action type or the jump scare type, you might actually find this game pretty boring, since most of it is just wandering around a house looking for keys and getting spooked. So in that regard, if that's not your type of game, you won't like this one. So as you know, I rate games on a must play, maybe consider don't bother 3-point scale. I do think Visage is a must play. If you are the kind of person who lets themselves get sucked into a game, Visage will provide you with an excellent creepfest experience. While some of the aimless wandering and puzzles did frustrate me, it didn't take away from the fact that I finally found the game that made me so stressed I had to take breaks for the first time in years. Visage is an excellent continuation of the ideas that PT started, and fans of atmospheric horror games should absolutely check it out. But that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Go out there and enjoy the hell out of Visage.